Hello, everybody, and welcome to another amazing episode of Keeper's Place, the Keeper Murdoch Show and podcast. Yes, so we have another amazing show for you tonight. I'm super excited to have my guest in the house. She is super talented, well-rounded, and very informative. So we're going to be talking with our special guest tonight, Miss Janell Snipes. So let me tell you a little bit about her, and then we will play our introduction and bring her on the stage and get this show started because we have a lot to discuss tonight. So Janell Snipes is the CEO of the Illumine Group, LLC. She is a certified life coach, certified human resources professional, training facilitator, and public speaker. And she focuses on the growth and development of individuals and groups. She holds a bachelor's degree in business administration and a master's degree in human resources management. She is certified by the Society for Human Resources Management. She has over 20 years of experience. She became a certified life coach in 2010 and began coaching in private practice in 2011. She has since gained certified instructor credentials for 2 Franklin Covey products, which is Myers-Briggs Type Indicator instruction, DISC assessment facilitation, and she became a certified behavior analysis with GrowthIQ training. I told y'all she was multifaceted. The Illumine Group offers coaching and consulting services designed to fit the client's needs, both individual and small businesses. She is the founder of a nonprofit organization called the Hugh Leadership Alliance, and she is the co-facilitator of an empowerment group called Queening Effortlessly. She lives her life focusing on continuous improvement and self-development. Janell wholeheartedly believes the Socrates quote, which states, "The secret of change is to focus all your energy not on fighting the old, but building the new." Okay, I am ready for this, Queen. Are y'all ready? Yes, so don't go anywhere. After our brief introduction, we will bring to the stage the one and the only Miss Janell Snipes. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Keeper's Place, the Keeper Murdoch Show and podcast. We hope that by the end of our show, you're left feeling empowered, motivated, and connected. So come on in the room, grab your favorite drink, sit back, and enjoy the ride, because you're finally at home at Keeper's Place. Now give it up for our host and producer, Coach Keever Lernice Murdoch.
And welcome back to Keeper's Place, the Keeper Murdoch Show and podcast. So without further ado, we're going to bring to the stage the one and only Miss Janell Snipes. So come on in the room, Queen. How are you?
I'm doing great tonight, Keeper. How are you?
I am blessed, and I'm super excited to have you join me tonight. We have a lot to talk about, Miss Janell.
Yes, absolutely. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me. So let's, I guess, get into it.
Dive right into it, right? So I read a lot about you. You are one busy lady. You are well educated and just full of like many certifications. What actually brought you to this place? Like, how did you get here?
Well, this journey has been one of the things that I like to talk about is just finding your own path. And so my journey has been one of just growth, finding a new goal, attaining it, goal after goal. And along the way, if I wasn't in a place that I wanted to be, so if I saw something else that I wanted, I had to figure out how to get there. And sometimes that was through certifications, continuing my education so that I could be well-rounded, well-spoken, and get the thing that I was after. So a lot of that was sometimes some of that was just volunteering and being willing to do what others weren't, and just going forward. So always just trying to improve myself so that I could be and have an impact on others and a positive influence on others.
And that's amazing. And that's really important. And, it sounds like you just had that hunger, that burning desire within you to be more than you were the day before. And
Right.
that's just so important to just make sure that we are always striving for that place of, not to say perfection, but that place of greatness, never being complacent where we are today. It's very important to make sure that we're always moving and striving forward. And I definitely see that in you and over your life.
Yeah, there was a lot. I've had very great influences. My mom and my dad were very hard workers, blue collar workers that were striving every day just to make a great life for me and my sister. And then I went to college and I was like, there can be something different. And every time, like I said, I achieved a new plateau. I looked a little higher and strove a little longer and did what I needed to do to move forward. So my path wasn't always straight. Between my bachelor's degree and my master's degree was about a 5-year gap. And that was me thinking at the point in time that I just wanted to go work and conquer the world and make a lot of money. And that didn't necessarily happen according to plan. So I had to pivot, regroup, and get myself back together. But I think within that 5 years, I found my passion for something that was going to be a little longer lasting for me. And so that's where education came back in hand, and it helped me to open up the door to some different things.
Exactly. I love that. I love that. One of the things in reading a little bit about you is your passion of helping others and all of that. And you have a statement in your bios that says helping others discover their talents and maximize their potential. So explain to me exactly what that looks like from your perspective.
Okay, so I can tell you that this started early. So if you give me a moment to take you back a little bit, I will. I started my career in higher education. So I was working with college students. And while they were in that point of transition, trying to help them understand who the new them was, because high school was over. College was this place of development and learning about yourself and then figuring out what their next step into adulthood was. So it really started with just conversations with people, really just trying to figure out, what are you good at? What do you like? What makes you, happy? What brings you joy? What are the things that you're doing just because you think it's the right thing to do? And some of those conversations, I know that I was heard and made an impact, but I spent from 2002 to 2007 on college campuses in South Carolina. I worked at Columbia College, and then I transferred to the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. And so I spent time with people who was in this learning phase. And those conversations, through hard times, through struggle, family changes, all of those things just kind of gave me the ability to see someone at their freshman year and at their senior year and what they were doing next steps. And that's when I was like, you know what, this is awesome. Like, to be able to witness that growth, to feel like you had a part in it by having the conversations from a perspective that they might not get from home, was just what I loved. And so I was also doing training and leadership development, some advising during that period in time, and decided that the college students, they stayed the same age, but I was getting older and I wanted a different population. So I moved to human resources. And then I had an opportunity to see from both sides of the table, what the management and the leadership team was doing and how they were looking at talent, people who were working for them on a day-to-day basis, driving to work, giving it their all. And then from the employee perspective, because I was a liaison and I wasn't necessarily the boss at that time. So I had my foot kind of in both places, and hearing the complaints and the strife from the employees who felt like they were being overlooked, and then hearing how the leadership and the managers were evaluating talent, so to say, and deciding who gets to move, who gets the investment of development monies, excuse me, and who was going to get the next promotion. And so that part of me was like, wow, it really opened my eyes as someone who was always driven and motivated intrinsically to say, if other people knew what was happening behind these doors, then maybe they would show up differently. Maybe they would do things differently to make themselves, quote unquote, and on the list. And so I think because also I was one of the only women of color that was in those spaces, it just made sense to me that I go and be the advocate and to say, you know what, this is what's happening and this is how you need to present yourself, or this is what you need to do. What are your goals, right? So just having the conversation, because I also had a vantage point that was very unique. And so, and today, what does that look like? For individuals, I work with them, and still I do career coaching a lot. People who are looking for moves, and everything from, positioning yourself, social media, resumes, etc., interview preparation. But I do more than that because it's also understanding the mentality of the organization that they work in and helping them to see their chosen organization in a different light. But also for small business owners, they have a dream. A lot of entrepreneurs, and I'm sure you know this, Kiva, start businesses out of the passion of what it is, and then they have to figure out the business part on the other side. Like, how do I make this, profitable? How do I hire employees? So I work with them to understand where the goals are that they have and how we make action plans to get there. So that is just, I guess, how I show up in today's land, but a little bit of backstory about how I got to this place.
I love that. And that's what people don't realize, because I am also a leadership development coach. And what they don't realize, especially like how to bridge that gap between the employees and the employers, because sometimes there is a breakdown of communication, not intentionally most of the time, but there's a breakdown because employers may not quite understand how to pull the best out of their talent. Right. And there may be a misconception from the talent. They're not quite understanding exactly what the employers are looking for. Right. So, you really play such a vital role in bridging that gap so that both sides wins, right? I love that.
Absolutely. I think that, there's a lot of things that we just don't know. Nobody teaches you, nobody teaches how to be a parent. Nobody teaches you how to be a wife. Nobody really teaches you how to be an employee. You figure out how to be a student because you have to do it for so long. But when you're making career transitions, nobody's out there saying, hey, this is how you position yourself for a promotion. This is how you position yourself for a raise, if whatever your goals are. We just kind of have to fumble around and figure that out. And that can be very frustrating for someone who is just trying to build a great career. They want to get the experience and have that hands-on experience before they become the leader and the boss so that they know what they're doing. And then others, they take a different route. But it's hard to figure that out if you don't have a mentor or someone within the organization that's kind of guiding you. And a lot of us, especially a lot of people of color, miss that part within organizations. There's not someone there reaching down to pull them up. And so they just kind of sit there and trying to figure it out themselves, which could take a long time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Let me ask you this, Janell, as far as COVID-19, and we understand that for some businesses, they have closed. For some, they transitioning from working from an office to working in home, and there are some that have not been able to return to work at all. So if you had to offer any advice to someone who is still at home, either looking to transition to a different career or transition back to work, do you have any advice that they can do to start that ball rolling forward for them?
Absolutely. I think that the first step is if you are working in a professional capacity, because there's people that work in in capacities that don't require resumes. If you're working in, a manufacturing facility or a different, like a line level worker, you might not have a resume. So I don't want to say, go make a resume. You're probably going to be like, why? And where do I start? So, but I definitely would encourage that set of workers to get connected. Right now, staffing agencies are working above and beyond trying to fill all of these roles, right? It feels like an employees market. So there are jobs to be had. You just got to figure out how to get connected. And if a staffing agency would be something that you could easily make a contact with, call them in your book. And call them, look in your, I was going to say phone book, Kiva. Lord, when the last time we saw a phone book?
Years, honey, years.
Until I'm aging myself a little bit. But Google staffing agencies and, look and see who is in your area that might be filling roles in the type of job that you're looking for. If you're working in a professional capacity, I definitely think that you should go back and start with your resume foundation. Make sure that you have it as complete as possible. And in this review, I would encourage you, don't worry about the length of pages. Just go down and write down everything that you've ever done, your accomplishments, the projects that you've worked on. Make sure it's as thorough and as complete as possible, because in a job search, you are going to have to be able to pull on all of those experiences. So start there by building out your work history. That is one of the first steps that I take with all of my clients, because I need to know as a coach where you've been and what you've done, because sometimes you discount your experiences and they could help you in your next step, but you don't even think about it because you're only thinking about the last job that you had. One of the things that we don't give ourselves credit for is that we are the sum of our life's experiences. So whether it's work, volunteering, things that you've done, to quote unquote help someone but it requires a skill set that you have. You need to just figure out where you're good, where you've been contributing, what you're good at, and document it. And then your next step is going to make sure you're identifying what you want to do next. Because in the COVID-19, there has been a lot of people who have pivoted. They were working jobs that they didn't necessarily love, but they were doing it because it paid the bills. And now you have an opportunity to try to get into something that you're more passionate about, which I definitely would encourage, because you don't want to make the same mistake twice if you can avoid it. But from that work history, go and find the skills that transition from one thing to another. And maybe you want to use something like a functional resume instead of a traditional resume to highlight the applicable and the relevant skills. There are also professional staffing agencies that are trying to fill roles. They do it a little bit differently than those that are filling production and blue collar roles. But if you make the outreach and you have yourself ready to go, you have your materials, your resume ready to go, you know what you're looking for, they'll be able to start connecting you quicker as long as you're prepared. But again, you have to also have some direction and focus. Don't call and say, I just want a job, whatever you want to give me. Make sure you know what you want, what you're willing to do, how far you're willing to drive, how much money you want to make, all of those things, and get out there, because there's people that are getting hired every day, and there are more jobs that are opening every day, especially as the world opened back up. Opportunities are opening back up. So just focus on where you're going next and what you want to do, and get your documents in order so that you can prepare to market yourself to those that are willing to help you or to those that have vacancies directly.
Wonderful advice. Wonderful and very thorough. And you just said a mouthful. Make sure that you are prepared. And that's the key, and people don't realize it's very important to make sure that you do your due diligence to update your resume, make sure that you understand what it is that you are looking for instead of just going out blindly. So that is very, very good advice. I know that you have a business and you have a nonprofit organization. So I want to definitely take an opportunity to talk about your business, your coaching business, Illumine Group, and you have covered a lot of it. But did you cover all of your services that you offered? I definitely know that coaching and consulting is one of them, but did we cover everything?
No, there's more. There's more. So I do coaching one-on-one, and I'll be starting to offer some group sessions because I know sometimes people aren't necessarily at a place where they can financially commit to that investment. But if there are people that have like-minded goals, we're driving down the same road in the same direction, there'll be some group coaching opportunities coming forward. I also do training services for organizations, and that can be churches, nonprofits, etc., where I come in and do some leadership training with the whoever it may be. Also team building. I'm currently working with a client who's going through some team building activities to reconnect the team. Because as you mentioned, a lot of people have been working remotely. They haven't seen each other in months. And some of that culture has been lost. Some of that togetherness and how we function face to face and instead of behind the screen has been lost. So we're going to be going to get some of those team building activities together that is a combination of fun and work, working on reestablishing lines of communication and trust and all of those things that help a team be more productive. I do some public speaking on different topics, so that's kind of separate, but the small business aspect of the Illumine group is working with small business owners who are in the process of expanding, or they might be just hiring new employees and they've never had never had an employee or team members before. So there's a lot of kind of HR stuff that they don't necessarily know. We want to make sure that once you step down that path of adding team members, that you're doing it and you're compliant, you're doing it in a way that helps build the culture that you want, because you don't want to lose sight of that as an entrepreneur or a founder, and that you bring them in a way that ties them to the organization and has some commitment so that you don't experience a whole lot of turnover. So I work with them to establish the foundation of their people operations. And that is another part of what I've been doing in human resources since 2007 that I like. That's the part that's fun and energizing for me, but I know it can be make a strong foundation for business owners. So I love that part of the business as well.
Yes, and that's so important, is making sure that you have those core values in place. Because that what people don't realize too, and they just start a business on pure love and passion, and they don't even have the foundation of the businesses, but they are hiring employees and wonder why they are hiring all the wrong people.
Exactly.
Your core values, do they understand? So I just appreciate your work so much. The Hue Leadership Alliance. I am super excited to hear about this. So tell our viewers what this is and how they can become a part of that.
Oh, yes, I'm super excited about this. And this is one of my this is like baby in infancy. I'm trying to get it walking and down the path. But in 2020, I started the Hue Leadership Alliance, got the IRS 501c3 documentation together, have my board of directors. And the goal of the Hue Leadership Alliance is to help women of color, ages 25 to 55, in their career development paths. Because, there's a lot of focus on teenagers and teenage to college and that college transition. But then we can kind of get stuck in the middle. Women of color get overlooked for promotions more. They're typically one of the least paid. They work harder. We're traditionally one of the most educated groups that occupy these positions. However, we're not compensated that way, and we don't necessarily get elevated at the same pace as our colleagues who are not people of color. So the goal of the Hue Leadership Alliance is to allow you to develop and hone in on your leadership skills, the things that they do for high organizations typically do for high potentials. Like they invest in their professional development, they send them to school, they give them soft skills training, all of those things. And if you were to try to do that on your own without an employer endorsement or employer financial support, you can spend a lot of money. I have a lot of credentials, right? You imagine if I paid for all of those myself. I would probably be trying out here with 6 more jobs trying to figure out how to cover all of that. But the HUE Leadership Alliance is a low investment way for you to find a cohort of women that you can learn together, grow together, and therefore also have alliances in other organizations or allies in other organizations who are going to keep an eye out for you. So the goal is to grow the soft skills. We talk about, everything in our 25 to 35-year-old group. We talk about resume basics and how to show up, how to manage up. There's several different topics there. And then we have a section for those 35 to 45, and then 45 to 55, because all of those, typically you're in different phases of your career and you need different levels of support. The HUE Leadership Alliance goal is to make sure that we can get women of color leaders and organizations, because we know that we impact change. We advocate for everyone, we don't just get to places of power and advocate just for Black folks. We advocate for everybody, equal rights across the board. So if we can get representatives in leadership places across the United States, not just North Carolina, that would be awesome. Imagine the change we can impact for our communities if we just allow and support women who are trying to rise. So that's the goal. It feels very lofty. It feels like a lot of work, but we're just going to go step by step to try to help a cohort of women at a time, and then help them come back and help others behind them. So all the information about the HUE is on the website, which is hueleadershipalliance.org. And we will be accepting a cohort. We're going to be starting another cohort in 2022. This year, we've been focusing on marketing, making connections within the community, letting people know that we are here and we're ready to help. And then, so we're going to be just getting started. And I can't wait to see what this looks like in 5 years, 10 years, and where these ladies go. So
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm super excited just sitting here hearing about it, because it's something that is much needed in our community, and I love the fact that you're just not just grouping everybody in just one pot. I mean, it is strategically set up to be able to offer the most support in your in the best way that you all can. So I'm excited for you.
Yeah, that's one of those things that kind of makes me smile. It keeps me up at night.
Yes.
When God places something in your heart that you go, oh my gosh, that's scary. That's the thing that you're probably meant to do above all. And I know you know this, Kiva. But this was one of those scary things that I held on to for years. Like 2017, it was kind of dropped into my spirit, and I was like, that's impossible. But every year I took a step toward it. I took a step in educating myself on nonprofit, how to run a nonprofit. Did that in 2018. 2019, I started planning and reaching out to potential board members to connect. I started the process through the IRS recognition in 2020, and that came through. And then we started having board meetings, and it's like, okay, now the next hurdle is just to find the group of women who are ready for this type of support, like I said. And it's not something that's going to break your pockets. The whole goal is to uplift, empower, and help women move forward so that we can just continue to pull up the ranks behind us or with us.
I love it. Well, however, Kiva's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show, can support you guys, you just definitely reach out to us and let us know.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, hold tight. We're not quite done yet because we got to let the people know how to reach you. But we have to take a quick commercial break. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We will be right back with Miss Janell Snipes, and we're going to let you know exactly what you need to do to get in contact with us. So, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Inner Peace and Serenity with your host, speaker, coach, facilitator, Jeannie Muhammad. Join us every first Thursday of the month, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we talk everything self-improvement. So take back your pen, take back your life, right here on Keever's Place.
We are living in a digital age, and we think it's safe to say that all businesses are needing to transition from traditional brick and mortar to broadcast. Everything is really about data collection and building a community. EasyWay Broadcasting has created a social network/solution provider within the EasyWay network to help its members with this transition. Introducing the EasyWay Wall of Fame, a one-stop shop for business owners and influencers that help them to connect, grow, learn, and scale the easy way. Over the years, we have been building affiliates and partnerships in all genres. That means our platform utilizes all our members' businesses to provide services at a much lower cost, help sell their service and promote their awareness to more potential customers. Through our new media empire, we have a reach to millions. Become an affiliate. Make money doing it the easy way. Create your free account today by visiting easywaywalloffame.com. Accelerate your influence through direct access to the right influencers. We have many TV shows that our members can be interviewed by. We have our own magazine and radio station to promote our EasyWay Wall of Fame members' profiles, which they control. The more friends you get, the bigger your business will grow. Join the EasyWay Wall of Fame community for free today.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your man, Eric Zuli. I'm an international commercial Axe body spray star. I've done films. I'm on Amazon Prime right now. And I built my own social network platform. We have 300 million people that we reach on our network, and I'm a man of God. And I'm telling you right now, man, where do you need to be? Oh yeah, that's it. Keever's Place. You gotta go to Keever's Place. You gotta watch Keever's Place. You gotta hang out in Keever's Place. It's about Keever. You hang out in Keever's Place, the easy way.
Hey everyone, this is Kiasha Hill, transformational life coach and author of 30 Days of Different Ways to Love Me. You're currently watching Keever's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show and podcast. Please stay tuned, so much more to come.
And welcome back to Keever's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show and podcast. If you are just joining us, I am speaking with the amazing Janell Snipes. She is a certified human resources specialist. She is a coach. She's a consultant. She's an advocate. She is a woman that wears many hats. So we're going to bring her back up, and we're going to finish our conversation so that we can let you all know what you need to do to get in contact with her. So welcome back to the stage, Janell.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. So I know that you are a busy woman, but before we drop your contact information, I want to know, because I believe it's very important that we make sure that we are taking care of ourselves, right? Because especially when you wear so many different hats, and you are definitely a woman that wears a lot of hats. So I want to know, what is it that you do to unwind? How do you take care of yourself to make sure, as we were discussing off camera, you know, it's so easy to get burnt out, to lose focus, and that pretty much happens when we are not taking time out. So what do you do to make sure that you are good?
Yes, absolutely. I spend a lot of time doing a lot of things, and with all of it, my days can be long. But one of the things that I absolutely do is I draw a line in the sand at the end of each night of when I'm going to stop, and I make sure I communicate that to my husband and my kids so that they know. if I'm still working in the office, to come and pull me out. But most of the time I finish, I make sure that I have some time with my family. I'm a cuddler, so when mommy's ready, they come and they pile on the couch and we just kind of veg out a little bit before my boys go to bed. But one of the other things that I do, I am, like I said, a continuous learner. So there are some things that when I'm involved in like finding out new information, that feels good to me. That helps me to feel like I'm still investing in myself. And so it could be a book, it could be a webcast, webinar, or classes I do. And I'm just like, oh, this is so good. I'm feeding my brain, and not just giving it all out to everyone else. So I think you definitely have to continue to pour in and make sure you're giving the best of yourself to those who matter most. So my family is definitely number one. I make sure that we're out and about when outside is open properly, that we go and we spend time with nature, definitely stay centered spiritually, praying and just making sure that I'm here for those who are going to be with me regardless. If I have nothing to give, they're going to have my back. And so I definitely make sure I pour into them as much as possible with just quality time.
I love it. I love it. And I'm glad that you actually have a plan, because there are some of us out here just wilding out. We don't know where we going, what we doing, how we got there. So I'm just blessed to, hear that you do take that quality time and make sure that you take care of yourself and your family.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So to get in contact with Miss Janell Snipes, if you would like to learn more about her coaching services that she offers to individual groups and to businesses, her leadership development courses, definitely visit her websites. We're going to pop them up right on the screen. You can go to www.illumine.group, not .com, .group. Again, that's illumine.group. If you want to visit her website. And she also have a website where everything that she does is connected. You just go to www.missj.com, and I'm going to show you what that website looks like. Here it is. If you visit www.missj.com, and she has all of her information right there. Okay, so that's a great way for you to meet her, to learn more about what she has going on. If you're interested in booking her for any events, or for her to facilitate anything that you have going on, definitely visit her website. She is connected. She will get you right where you need to be. So visit her at missj.com. If you would like to send her an email, you can email at janelle@illumine.group. Again, it's not .com, people. Janelle@illumine.group. You can visit her there. And she's all over social media at iam.miss.j. So yes, you can definitely visit her right there. If you would like to call her office, you can dial her at 980-220-3853. Again, that's 980-220-3853. So Miss J is very accessible. So you can definitely reach out to her. I'm sure that she will be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. All right. Miss April McCants, I definitely want to shout her out. She has been right here with us the entire show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Speaking of Miss April,
yes,
you have a show together. So tell us a little bit about Miss Queening Effortlessly.
Yes, we have a Facebook group that is open to the public. Our audience is, of course, women. That's why it's called Queening Effortlessly. We do a lot of topics to help women in every aspect of life. We talk about friendship. We talk about love. We talk about career. We talk about all the tips that you need to, of course, her specialty is insurance, finance, and making sure that you have your pockets and your plan together. And then I go on the career and kind of life coaching tip. So we work together in that group. We stream live videos or interviews on Sundays at 7 p.m. You can go to Facebook at Queening, Effortlessly and see us to join the group and potentially be a guest on the show. We love having our queens come in and talk to us about their passions, what they have going on, their businesses, etc. So the goal is just to say, you know, we're all women trying to make it, and we can learn from one another. We're about collaboration and not competition. And so it's just a community for us to get together and have a positive connection with other women of color.
I love it. And I have had the pleasure of being a guest on Queening Effortlessly, and it is an amazing show. It's very uplifting. And like you were saying, it's just the spirit of collaboration and not competition. And, you know, we as women, we understand that that's so important because, I mean, you know, back in the day, it was ingrained in us that it was competition. No. It's about working and building together. So I greatly appreciate the opportunity of being on you guys' show. And I've had April on less than a month ago, and now I have Miss Janell. So, you know, we are complete over here.
Yeah, we greatly appreciate you coming, Kiva. You have such a positive perspective, and you're very centered and driven. So a great motivation for women. I'm happy to be here, and we greatly appreciate you being there and giving us an opportunity on your platform as well.
Anytime. You ladies are welcome back anytime. So I'm going to give you this opportunity. I know we have covered a lot, but I want to just allow you this chance to have any final words you want to share with our audience, maybe something that you wanted to cover we didn't quite hit on, or something you may want to expound on. So any final words, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I guess, you know, when I thought about the topic of success on your own terms, for me, that was just about making sure that you understand that you are not a copy of anybody else. You're not a cookie cutter replica. You are an individual who has the opportunity to do great things and create a path of your own. You just got to get out of those self-limiting thoughts and into your own power so that you can see and become the success that you want. And that is different for everybody. So don't compare yourself to the Joneses, because the Joneses might be comparing themselves to the Robinsons, and you'll never get to the root of that. So just be the best that you can be. And when you need help, you need a hand, or you need an ally or a confidant, people like myself and Ms. Kiva are here to assist you. We offer services that give you a hand up and a good ear to listen and guide you on your path. So just make sure that you stand in your power, get connected to what you want, and move forward. Keep moving forward.
I love it, and well said. Well, Miss Janell, Miss J, thank you so much for joining me today, Queen. It has been a pleasure as well as an honor. And like I said, you are welcome back anytime. You're a family now. So once you grace Kiva's Place, the Kiva Murdoch Show, your family. So
all right. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem. Hang tight. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have enjoyed our show tonight and have learned a lot. Miss J dropped a lot of nuggets, so definitely reach out to her if you have any questions. If you're interested in her coaching and counseling you, definitely reach out to her. I'm going to drop her main website again, and you can find all of the information on her right there on her website. Just go to www.missj.com, or you can connect with her on social media at im.mrs.j. So definitely reach out to her there. If you would like to be a guest on our show, we have maybe a couple spots left for season 2, and we're already taking booking for season 3. So if you would like to be a guest on our show, if you have a story to tell, if you have a business that you want to get out to the masses, definitely go to our booking site. You can visit us at tinyurl.com/Kiva's Place Booking. You can definitely book us there. Or you can visit our website at kivasplace.weebly.com. So you can definitely book us on there as well. If you would like to support us, you can visit go to anchor.fm/Keever's Place, and you can definitely support us there. We are looking for monthly supporters in exchange for free advertising. So if that is something that you're interested in, if you're looking to get your business in front of the masses, if you're looking for marketing and advertising opportunities, definitely reach out to us there. Okay, we can definitely work out and help you out with that. So we have an amazing show scheduled for Saturday, and it's a special show where we're going to have a professional panel where we're going to be talking to some people involved in sexual assault against the mentally disabled. So if you would like to hang in there with us on next Saturday, come right back here on Keever's Place, the Keever Murdoch Show, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will be discussing innocent voices unsilenced and what we need to do as a community to protect those that can't speak up for themselves. So come back and visit us on Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Keever's Place. And we're going to have a very deep conversation. So join us there. And then come right back next Thursday night. We have a young lady all the way from South Africa. So you don't want to miss our show next Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come back and join us. We will be having another wonderful discussion with another amazing guest. So until next time, family, continue to share, connect, and glow, because we understand that building our network also builds our net worth. So thank you again for watching. Peace and blessings. We love you much. Thank you and take care.
Thank you for watching Keever's Place, the Keever Murdoch Show and Podcast. Tune in every Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Keever's Place. To be a guest on our show, text the word guest to 803-368-3030 or visit us at tinyurl.com/Keever's Place Booking. And watch us on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire as we're broadcasting in more than 60 million homes worldwide.